Hello everybody, this is Fronito Bob here and welcome to a video that is long overdue. That's right, we are finally going over the results of the 2017 predictions that I made for the 2017 NASCAR season. Yes, indeed. And I am joined by Bang Coaches. Hello everybody. And I'm using this still once again, which is now almost a year old. Yeah, I decided to bring back this still because, well, it's easier to do the video like this and stuff. So I kind of want to apologize for waiting so long to get around to this video. I originally started making this video back in November of last year, and it just came to a point where I just kept holding it off and holding it off until now I finally actually bothered to make this video, or actually finish it off and get it up to YouTube and stuff like that. So, yeah, so, it's a 2017 video being uploaded in 2018. I know, I'm so delayed. Lovely, isn't it? So, as you read by the title, the 2017 NASCAR season is officially over. And of course, at the beginning of the season, I made a predictions video on what I thought would happen during the 2017 season. And this is the predictions results video. Basically, in this video, I should be going over what I got right and what I got wrong. Now, I did the original predictions video in a bit of an interesting fashion. Like, what I did is that I predicted more than one thing in, let's say, each individual prediction. So what I'm going to do is for every one thing I got right, I will gain a point, and for every one thing that I got wrong, I will lose a point. So we'll see what the number is like when we get to the end of this video. Anyways, let's now stop wasting time and get on with the predictions results video. Prediction number 1. Martin Truex Jr. will win the Daytona 500. So we're off to an amazing start. I was very hopeful that Truex would be able to win the 2017 Daytona 500. He almost did. Almost, but he couldn't hold on to it at the end. Oh well. Maybe next year. Prediction number 2. Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, and Kyle Larson will all win at least one race. So, 3 of them won it, 3 of them didn't. Of course, the 3 that didn't win were the ones that I really wanted to win this season, but oh well, I'm fine with the other 3 winning races. At least that means that the number is still -1 for now, which is a thing, I guess. Prediction number 3. Ryan Newman and Clint Bowyer will finally break their winless streaks. Again, one of them won a race whilst the other didn't. Yeah, I was really hoping that Clint Bowyer would be able to break his winless streak. I had no idea how Ryan Newman was able to break his winless streak, but yeah, at least he did so, creating one of the stories of the year at Phoenix. Prediction number 4. Joey Logano will get into another rivalry with another driver. This prediction was kind of becoming a thing when Joey Logano got into Kyle Busch at Las Vegas, but unfortunately Kyle Busch didn't serve Joey Logano back, and so the prediction couldn't be completed, and Logano didn't get into any other rivalries throughout the whole year. So, there. Prediction number 5. Stewart-Haas Racing will win only one race this season, resulting in them going back to Chevy. Well, they managed to win more than one race this season, and after Eric Almirola was doing testing in Texas recently, he was clearly driving a Ford. So Stewart-Haas Racing are officially staying with Ford for yet another year, which means I'll still be complaining about Stewart-Haas Racing being a Ford team next year. Yay! Prediction number 6. Ty Dillon will be sponsored by sausages. AKA, I was hoping that Ty Dillon would be able to prove his worth in the number 13 car, which he kind of did at Dover in one of the races, but after that he disappeared under a rock. So, I'm going to give Ty Dillon another year to maybe prove his worth in the number 13 car, but after that, we'll have to see what happens. Prediction number 7. Kyle Busch will win every Xfinity Series race that he takes part in. I'm sure many of you saw this coming from a mile away, and whilst Kyle Busch did win some of the Xfinity races that he entered in 2017, he still couldn't win all of them, and yeah, it's just no. Prediction number 8. The Fat Controller will drive the 24 car for one race. I don't know what part of my brain thought that this was a good prediction, because the Fat Controller still, again, wasn't even mentioned at all this whole season. I mean, it's like he's a driver in NASCAR, but not really. So, we'll have to see what he does next year. And prediction number 9, Martin Truex Jr. will win the 2017 Monster Energy Cup. Oh yeah, after a silly sausage 2016 season, Mark Strick Jr. went on to win the championship in 2017, being the first deserved champion in quite some time. So definitely great to see Mark Strick Jr. win his first ever championship. It definitely show that not even a broken chase slash playoff system can keep the amazing driver that is Truex from winning a championship, and we'll see if he can do it again, possibly going into the future. Indeed. So, as you saw, the final number is -5, which just happens to be Bank Coach's number, but obviously in the opposite direction. So that was all the predictions that I made for the 2017 season as a whole, at least in the Cup Series. However, I also made my predictions and stuff for the 2017 playoffs to spice things up a bit. We're going to be pointing thingies with that as well, if you know what I mean. Again, we should be continuing on with our points. For every one thing I got right, I will gain a point, and for every one thing I got wrong, then I will lose a point, obviously. So let's just look at all the stuff and see what's what. So we're off to a smashing start. I got several things wrong and only one thing right. Yeah, and I just noticed now that I misspelled Chase Elliott. Yeah, interestingly enough, I forgot the other T. But yeah, I was really hoping that Chase Elliott would be able to win at Chicagoland, seeing as he almost won there a few times. But this time, Chase Elliott, I guess he didn't really come too close to doing so. So, yeah. And then, Matt Kenseth, I kind of had some hopes that Matt Kenseth would be able to win in New Hampshire, seeing as Matt Kenseth won in New Hampshire last year, so I felt like he could do it again, and stuff like that. But, unfortunately not. And Eric Jones, I felt like he could also win at Dover, but he couldn't do that either, and in fact, didn't even come anywhere close. So that was your winners, and then for elimination, Jamie McMurray, I was really expecting him to perform very well, not so well in the round of 16, but I guess McMurray, he was able to just, really go out, and was able to not be eliminated, which is interesting enough. Um, and Ryan Newman, he was eliminated, exactly like the way that I expected. I really, I was kind of expecting Ryan Newman to perform not so well in the round of 16, and he did just that and got eliminated. Stenhouse definitely did do some impressive stuff in the round of 16, managing to move on to the next round, and same can be said about Ryan Blaney. And now we move on to the round of 12, where some things were right, but some things were wrong. Charlotte, I was really hoping that Clint Boyer would be able to win at Charlotte, seeing as Clint Boyer did pretty well there in the All-Star Open race. So I thought that Clint Boyer could repeat that success in the race, in the Bank of America 500 thingy-majority flip. Daniel Suarez, I was really hoping he would be able to win Talladega, considering that I know Suarez actually did pretty well. Well, I mean, Suarez, I really wanted him to get a win somewhere in the season, and after seeing Suarez be in the lead for a couple laps in the Coca-Cola, the Coke Zero 400, I feel like Daniel Suarez could put together in Talladega to go on to win there, but unfortunately not. And Kansas, I saw Mark Truex Jr. winning that race from a mile away. In fact, at this point, we should expect Mark Truex Jr. to win at any mile-and-a-half track, and Truex most certainly did that over in Kansas. It was just unbelievable, really. And for eliminations, Kids Kane, Matt Kenseth, and Austin Dillon, I was expecting them to do not so well going into the round of 12, and they indeed got eliminated like I expected them to. But Brad Keselowski, however, went on to win at Talladega, showing Talladega that not even a blown engine could keep him winning there going into the future, and obviously beating Dale Jr. in his final race at Talladega. Lovely, lovely, isn't it? On the bright side, I did manage to get 2 points back, making now the number -9. And now we move on to the round of 8. A fairly interesting round indeed. Martinsville. Well, knowing how Jimmy Johnson likes to win in Martinsville, I was kind of expecting him to win Martinsville this year, or at least come first place in a way. You'll find out about that later. Texas. I feel like Kyle Busch could pull that off as well, knowing that Kyle Busch, I don't know why, but I figured that Kyle Busch would do well at Texas, but Not so much. So, yeah, well, actually, who did win Texas? I don't remember who did win it, but it was Truex, wasn't it? Um, and Phoenix, um, Joey Logano, he won the last year. I don't know why, but my brain thought that he could win there this year. No, he couldn't. Instead, the winner at Phoenix was no, it was Matt Kenseth. Okay, so Matt Kenseth, well, whilst he didn't win at New Hampshire, he did win at Phoenix, which is interesting. Although he wasn't no longer in the playoffs, so yeah, I guess. And for eliminations, Denny Hamlin was indeed eliminated, although not in the way they expected. I was just expecting Denny Hamlin to begin to slack off and stuff like that, but no, Denny Hamlin, he gets knocked out of the playoffs after his stuff with Chase Elliott. Man, oh man, what a battle that was. Um, Jimmy Johnson, I put him in eliminated, not knowing that I had put him in to win at Martinsville because I was kind of interested to see if Jimmy Johnson would win in Martinsville, but then his win would be encumbered because I was too lazy to fix it and edit and stuff like that because I already had my stuff going in. But no, Jimmy Johnson didn't even win in Martinsville, so I guess there's that part right. We'll say that. And now on to Kevin Harvick, possibly my least favorite driver in the season. Yes, I'm still a bit angry of the fact that Kevin Harvick is now driving a Ford instead of a Chevy like he did last year. And of course, Kevin Harvick had to move on to the Final Four because he is just that amazing at driving, apparently. Yeah, and of course, well, obviously he made it in by winning in Texas, but, that's another story for another day. And Kurt Busch. Obviously, he was eliminated a long time ago after performing pretty poorly. I think it was the round of 16, wasn't it? Yeah, round of 16. Kurt Busch, almost said Kyle Busch, but Kurt Busch performed pretty poorly, and I was expecting him to last as long as his buddy Kevin Harvick, but I guess not. And now let's see how accurate my predictions were when it came to the Final Four contenders. So I got 2 right and 2 wrong, making the score exactly where it was at -12. Obviously, Mark Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch did make it, and those were the 2 most important. Well, Mark Truex Jr. was obviously the most important one, making it into the Final Four, which obviously he did. And although I was really hoping that Chase Elliott would be able to make it into the Final Four, and Chase Elliott, he was really, really close to doing so. If Chase Elliott could have caught up to or I could have held the lead and beaten Matt Kenseth at Phoenix, Chase Elliott would have definitely made it to the Final Four. But Chase Elliott needs to learn how to keep the lead, and he is getting better. He's getting better, and I have a feeling like Chase Elliott will win and possibly make the Final Four in 2018. And Kyle Larson, if he hadn't had a blown engine and was just kicked out of the chase because, well, it's the playoffs really, but honestly, it still feels like the chase in a way. Because, it's like the playoffs was supposed to solve the problem where you didn't get eliminated from the playoffs because of someone's, well, something that happened that was nothing in your control. And unfortunately, it's happened to Kyle Larson. Thankfully, nobody was superly pressuring him to make it into the, well, I was seeing that Kyle Larson would be able to make it to the Final Four, but, dear, oh dear. And now to what I thought would be the finishing positions for the Final Four, or at least my predicted Final Four. Obviously, Mark Truex Jr. won the 2017 championship, so obviously that's right. Right is right. Kyle Larson, well, obviously wrong that Kyle Larson came second because he didn't even make it to the Final Four. I was predicting that Kyle Busch would come third in the final championship standings, I guess, but Kyle Busch wound up coming second. So I'm going to give myself half a point for getting that right because Kyle Busch, at the end of the day, did finish higher than I was expecting. And obviously, because Chase Elliott never even made the Final Four in the first place, it's obviously wrong. Oh, man, I'm finally done editing this video. Oh, man. I'm so sorry that this video took so long to come out, but I just haven't been bothered to edit this video up until now because there was something that I needed to make this video, and I waited so long just to get that thing. It was basically the buzzer sound to everything that I got wrong and stuff like that. So, yeah, this video was way overdue. I should have had this video done by the end of November, but no, I've waited until mid-January of 2018 to finish off this video. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a predictions video for 2018 because honestly I'm not really sure what to predict. I'm just out of ideas. I guess I can hope that the predictions that I made for 2017 become true for 2018 in a way or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so anyways, this is a very overdue video. I'm so glad I'm done editing it, to be perfectly honest. But that's all for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Because I will be doing more of these NASCAR videos going into 2018 as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.